Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? Of course, my name is Kent, and the channel is EOS San Diego. And I share information about the EOS blockchain. But first of all, tonight, let's share my screen first, expand things here a little bit, and take a look at the markets. So, yeah, there we go. Here's the markets. I always go to CoinGecko. CoinGecko has EOS up 1% over the last hour, 2.2% over the last 24 hours. And of course, we're down over the 7 days, but we did have a big rise here, I think, this previous weekend. So the other thing I want to make mention too is the fact that the volume is down just a little bit, which to me is a buying signal. I've been talking about that the last couple nights, that when volume seems to take a tumble, and I don't think that's where I want to go. Let's go to EOS. When volume seems to drop, and here you can see it again, right here. These blue bars down here, you see where it's at its lowest, actually goes along here. And at the very, very, very lowest here, when it drops down to about 1.5, you can see it starts to go up. And as it goes up, volume increases. And as the volume increases and volume remains pretty steady here, it stays steady. And then it starts to drop again. And the price starts to drop. And then when the bars get smaller, the price goes up. And I talked about this last night. And I think it could possibly be exchanges that are trading accounts that are trading EOS that belongs to their people that hold it on their exchange. And that could very well be what's happening. You know, when the price is up, they're selling the EOS. And then as the price goes down, and possibly customers want to get their EOS back because they see the price going down, the exchange has to come in and cover real quickly. So they got to buy. And that drives the price back up. This could be what's happening. Exchange is covering for EOS that they're trading from their accounts, their customer accounts. And I mean, this is possible. We're in the crypto business. I don't believe there's any security laws around the world that are going to govern exchanges. They can pretty much do what they want to do. There's no law, I believe, around the world that changes that governs exchanges, decentralized exchanges. They can do whatever they want to do, including trade customers EOS. So this is something that's possible happening. I'm not saying it is happening because I don't know. Every exchange probably has its own ways of handling customer accounts, but I don't think it's something that they can't do. I don't think there's anything around the world that keeps them from doing that. So that's just something that I'm speculating on by a couple of people that have placed comments on my videos and by my own observation. So take it for whatever it's worth. And I also see that the EOS trading volume's down a little bit too. So it may be a good idea to buy. And you can see prices heading up too. So maybe that, you know, I've been watching this for a few days and it's kind of been holding true. So, but anyway, the first place I'd like to go tonight is I'd like to go to EOS. Let's go back where we are here. This is a site I'd like to go to. It's Eoskentproxy.io, Eoskentproxy.io. And I don't know if they keep adding more information or I just keep finding more information on the site. But anyway, they got a lot of useful information on this site. And today I was looking at the tokens. If you look at all the tokens that were created on EOS, there's a lot. This is almost 500 tokens that have been created on EOS. That is why I only cover EOS blockchain on my videos, because there's a complete amount of information inside of EOS to talk about. So if you just want to talk about the EOS blockchain, you could talk about that all day long. But if you want to go deeper, you can go into each one of these individual tokens traded. Each one of these tokens, and right there's the challenge token. Each one of these tokens represents an idea, an application, a game, something that's being created on EOS. So this is a whole nother ecosystem within the ecosystem of EOS. So this is why EOS is so exciting, because there's just so much stuff going on. And of course, I could talk about a lot of these tokens that are trading on EOS. And I have traded. Here's a couple I've talked about. I've talked about, of course, Karma. I've talked about Tribe. Riddle is Scatter. I've talked about Oris, Hours Pay, Hours Token, Oris Token. I'm sorry. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff here to talk about besides Seed. I've talked about Seed a little bit. I've talked about eDNA. I've talked to, in fact, I talked to Greg up in San Francisco, who's the founder of eDNA. And so, I mean, as I scroll through here, Bean, of course, my good friends up in Canada, Troy, EOS Cafe, And I've talked to, and then of course it gets higher vibes here, Kyle out of the UK. So I could just go through here and I could find a lot of other stuff to talk about without talking about the main chain, the main net, which is primarily what we discuss. So there's so much more to discuss on EOS and all these tokens and all this activity. So there's a lot of stuff being built, which adds a lot of value to the blockchain, a lot of value to EOS. And that's why I think EOS is such an exciting project. So anyway, the other thing I want to talk about tonight is I want to talk about this Effect.AI, because this is artificial intelligence on the blockchain. So what artificial intelligence is, it's basically machine learning. It's an algorithm for machine learning. So machines take a task that people do, and they're able to put it on a computer. A computer can learn, like any kind of task that a person does can be translated back to an algorithm, back to a computer that learns that task and then is able to allow somebody else to peer-to-peer to be able to access that algorithm or that machine learning process that they have recorded on the blockchain. This is a really cool project. It's very interesting. In fact, I was watching a video. In fact, it was done by let me see a little bit down here. Ted Danson, who used to be, in fact, he is a movie star. He's on. He did he was on Cheers, so he's done a lot of stuff on. It had to be pretty expensive to get this guy to talk about your project. So they're probably spending a little bit of money. But anyway, this AI, this application has been running on Neo. So Neo, the guy basically says it sucks. So this is what he says: Top Neo DApp migrates to EOS. The Neo blockchain sucks, says its CEO. So these guys are moving to EOS, along with a lot of other applications. And if you read this, and I'm going to read, right? It's so funny. Neo sucks. But if you read what he says, the words of Chris Daw, CEO of Effect.AI, were a little harsher, but right to the point. He says, and I'll read right here what he says. It's pretty funny. He says, we then realized that the Neo blockchain sucks, and we needed to get the heck out of town. So we stopped production on many of the blockchain applications we were putting together in our smart contracts, which are these algorithm machine learning information that you'll be able to plug into as a developer on EOS. So there's the API keys that you're going to be able to use, just like you use a map on Google or anything else. You'll be able to plug in to these machine learning algorithms and use them for your application. So this is pretty cool stuff. A lot of very, very good information. And focus on going to conferences and exploring other blockchains. So they actually went around and checked out other blockchains. That being said, the G-Pool smart contract is fully built on Neo, but no point is deploying as it will ever go live on Neo. So they're not going to go live on Neo. But they are going live on EOS. Neo's free transaction system for user turned not to be viable as they coped with multiple malicious spam attacks. The current state of the blockchain has a limited transaction throughput, and the smart contract compiler, besides C# are quite immature. So the Effect.AI development team explained that for months they were exploring blockchain. So they spent months exploring blockchains such as Ethereum, Komodo, Tezos, and a handful of others, but only EOS has what it takes to fulfill their vision. So this is a team that did a lot of exploration on other blockchains and come to the conclusion that EOS is the one to build on. And that's why I only cover EOS, because we've come to the same conclusion. The team explains that this blockchain is scalable enough to generate a stable, promising, and secure future for the DApp that hopes to gain a massive number of users as time goes on. Simply put, EOS is scalable, easy to iterate upon, fast, technologically advanced, secure, and high transactions per second, and a great community and ecosystem. So, wow, that's really nice stuff to read about EOS. So if you're building on EOS, if you own EOS, or if you're thinking about investing in blockchain, this is a pretty nice statement made by this guy that they probably put a lot of time and effort into their application, thought too. And you can understand if you're doing a development peer-to-peer with machine learning, you're going to use a lot of transactions per second. So they're obviously doing a little bit of investigation into this. and found out that EOS is the place to be. As we've said a long time ago, and I continue to say almost nightly on these videos, that EOS is really the place to go, to be, and to stay, and to actually build a future. If you're an application, or if you're an investor, or if you're somebody that just wants to be involved with the blockchain, it's a place to be. And I want to see real quick where Neo is as far as blockchains are concerned, because I've never really talked about Neo. Like I said, I'm familiar with these blockchains, but I don't really spend much time on them because I'm pretty much totally interested in EOS. So here we go. It's number 16. It's got a $500 million market cap, 581 million. So this is no small blockchain. So anyway, I thought that was interesting and obviously worthy news to cover on EOS, because that's what we talk about here tonight and talk about every night. So anyway, I will be making videos tomorrow night. I got some interesting topics coming up. My son's got a very good video coming up tomorrow night. If you're interested in some very interesting information about it, he was going to make it tonight, but he ran out of time. So I'll make a link to his video tomorrow night. He's got a really, really good video coming for you. It's going to show you some transactions on the blockchain and how it works. So anyway, good stuff. Appreciate you watching. Have a good evening.